On day 23, we'll be looking at this area of our trip. We'll leave Las Vegas and travel through the Mojave National Preserve. And there's the last casino before we cross over into California out of Nevada. And here we are. Welcome to California. As we cross over into California, over there on the right is a solar power plant. And now it's time for the plant inspection site. There are certain plants you can't bring into California. We don't have any, and they just wave us on through. And soon we're turning off the highway and heading out into the desert itself. We cross into the Mojave National Preserve, and we'll be here most of the rest of the day. It's a rather large desert area, as you can see from here, with several roads going through it, and we're going to take a couple of these roads. And this is the route we're going to follow through it today. We'll see a lot of Joshua trees along this road, and then we'll go up to the lava beds and cinder cones, look at them, go by the Kelso Dunes and the Granite Mountains, and head down to our hotel for the night. Let's start looking around. You can see the shimmering on the hills as it's already starting to get hot in the desert. We're going to look at a few of the plants that grow in this desert. First, the Joshua tree, as you can see here. Here's one that is blossoming, as you can see the white on the end of the branches. And here's one that has already blossomed, and the flowers have fallen off. These trees grow very slowly, and most of them are over 1,000 years old here. Next, we're going to look at the yucca, and this is its blossom. And this is what is called the teddy bear cactus, or the jumping cactus. It'll jump right on you and stick a spine in you. And now we head on down the road. In this stretch of land, you can see that we don't see very many tall vegetation plants, mainly just low scrub vegetation. But we'll start seeing a lot more Joshua trees. They only grow at a certain elevation. They will become more and more as we drive along this area. In fact, the largest concentration of Joshua trees is found here, not in Joshua Tree National Park. In August of 2020, lightning struck in this area and burned a huge area of the national park on the right-hand side of the road. You can see the Joshua trees have been burnt, but not all of them have been killed. They're resistant to fire, but a lot of the low vegetation is gone entirely. And now the Joshua trees start to disappear more and more. There's not very many of them. As we get into lower elevations, they just cannot live at. And now we have no Joshua trees at all. Soon we're approaching Kelso, California. Actually, it's pretty well a ghost town right now, but it used to be one of the main towns in this area and was a railhead for much of this area. People came here in order to experience the desert. This is what used to be the post office, and this was the rail station. It's now the visitor center, but it's not open right now because of the COVID virus. From here we'll head north toward the lava beds and cinder cones, the volcanic area of the park. In the lava beds here, there are many lava tunnels that you can go through if you're willing to go out and do the hiking. Here we see the lava bed, the dark area on the bottom, and the cinder cones. Cinder cones are when the volcanoes start just spouting out little small pieces and are formed from the cinders that come from these volcanoes. As you can see in this area, there are many of them that were spouting up those cinders into the air. Now it's time to head back south again toward Kelso. We go back through Kelso and head on down south. Soon we come to the Kelso Dunes. It's on a gravel and dirt road that used to be paved, but the pavement has fallen apart, and so it's a very rough road. The Kelso Dunes are part of the most extensive dune system in the West. They cover about 45 square miles and up to 600 feet tall. And yes, those are people climbing on the side of it, and up there on top, those are people up there looking from the top. And this is tumbleweed, or sage. And this is a blossom of the mesquite. Now we leave the dune area and we're going to be heading south again. Soon we're passing the beginnings of the granite mountains, and we're going to stop and take some pictures of these rock formations. As we continue southward, we run into more and more of the granite mountains. And now we're driving out of the Mojave Desert Preserve and heading on southward to our hotel for the night near Joshua Tree National Park. Along the way, we passed through Amboy, California. It's a ghost town basically, but used to be a stop along Route 66 where people would stop and have a hotel and food. We're going to eat here at the tent, buy some hamburgers and eat, and look around a little bit. As said, it was a stop along Route 66, a roadside attraction. Now we continue on southward toward Joshua Tree National Park. We'll be staying at 29 Pines, just north of the park for tonight. On the way to our hotel, we passed through Flamingo Heights. Our hotel will be in 29 Pines, which is a entryway into Joshua Tree National Park.
Your destination is on the left.
We'll be staying at the Best Western Joshua Tree Hotel for the night. And this brings us to the end of day 23.